So we're gonna give a sync clap just to synchronize the cameras when they play it back. So you can clap on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That was a terrible clap. Give us one more clap. Give us one more clap. Your clap was terrible. That was a horrible clap. That was embarrassing.
This is an Indian clap, okay? It comes 5 minutes late.
Oh no. Oh no, don't do that to all Indian people. Don't put that on Indian people. You accept that. You own that clap. You own that clap.
For my people. For my people. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it. I'm here, Jason. I'm looking at, let's do this. Let's do this.
1, 2, 3. Perfect. I'm just gonna be brutally honest for a second. It's not every day that I get to interview people that are funnier than me. And this human being is one of the funniest human beings to ever walk the planet of the earth. The planet of the earth. That's what I said. She is the funniest. She's the queen of Netflix. Whether it's India, whether it's London, whether it's the world. Aditi Mittal.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. You're the first person who said that amazing stuff about me without me paying you.
I know.
So, thank you.
I know. And
How's it going?
How's it going? What's true? No, you see, don't be funnier than me and steal my job. Can I just be the host of the show? Can I just be the host? I'm going to ask
yes,
you.
Sir.
I'm asking you the questions first. Firstly, I want to say that we wish we could have had you live at the festival. We wish we could have had you live in Johannesburg. We wish we could have celebrated you. But I'm just really, really grateful that you gave us this little window, this opportunity just to get to know you, just to chat to you a little bit. And then locked down and loaded, we're going to have you back next year's festival. I can see you live on stage, me taking notes backstage, criticizing everything you do. So I want to say, thank you first. And then before I ask how are you, I'm going to throw a weird question. What has been your favorite part of the COVID-19 lockdowns? What's been your best part? What's been the number one thing for you?
I mean, there's so many things. I guess being alive is one of them. I'm nuts about the fact that I haven't had COVID yet. And so I guess I'm like super grateful. And then what are the other great things that have come out of this global pandemic?
What's the best part of the lockdown? Being alive. How are you not? You're right. You are 100% correct. The best part about this whole thing is being alive. If you're alive, you've won. If you are alive, you're a winner. You are a winner. So
that's right.
Outside of being alive, think about one thing that you are like properly grateful for that this lockdown has gifted you.
One really good thing that this lockdown has gifted me.
There must be a positive. I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. And I've used this example before, so I don't want judgments. But one of the best parts about it is I haven't had to wear pants in over 100 days in South Africa. Do you understand that my belt is my worst enemy because my belt knows my size, my belt has the notch, my belt tells the truth. I have not put a belt on in 100 days. That's my favorite part. What's your favorite?
That's beautiful. That's so moving. That's so beautiful. And I think the best part about the lockdown has been the fact that I'm doing international shows without having to go to a visa office and pretend that I don't want to move to their country for like a better salary or more opportunities. I mean, if you really think about it, Indians, we've always been in some kind of like global quarantine. And ironically, this quarantine has taken me out of it. So that's been the good part. Right?
Not
You
having
know
to
what
lie
I'm
to people
talking
about wanting to move. I know, look, I know exactly what you're talking about. Since I've grown this beard, immigration authorities have treated me differently. I must just tell you right now, the game is very different. This beard somehow means that I want to move to your country and take your jobs and steal your money. And yeah, it means wonderful things. I think that is absolutely hilarious. So now let's do the proper things. You are, I mean, you're for me, you're a comedian's comedian. And when I say that, it's the energy, it's the funny, it's the pace, it's the uncomfortable narrative. So like, I'm always curious because I love doing a lot of uncomfortable stuff on stage. If uncomfortable is your lane, and taking people and you know, challenging thought and what the world is at the moment. Are you that person in your personal life? Like, are you that person at home all the time where you are just difficult and challenging people while making them laugh at the same time?
You know, the best part is I am difficult and challenging at home. And people, that's why they've pushed me out of the house, so that when I'm difficult and challenging in the outside world, people laugh instead of wanting to throw me out of the house. That's literally it.
So where is the house? You're in London now, right?
No, I'm in Mumbai right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am. I
was
am
just
in
like,
Mumbai.
So this is fascinating because I was told incorrectly that you so do you like live in London sometimes? Why was I told that you'd be in London originally from, and then?
So I've been doing this thing where, like, for the past 4 years, where I travel to London for like the Edinburgh Fringe. And so then I end up spending a bunch of time in London. Like, I've been in London for 3 months of the year or 4 months of the year for the past 3 years. And I have what I like to call sticky roots and an inability to live without someone else like reminding me to wash my underwear and take a bath occasionally. And so I live with my mom in Mumbai. And dude, I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream, frankly. She after this, she actually said, "Hey Aditi, do you want a cup of tea after your interview?" Who's living that life in London? Like,
do you have sticky roots? Or are you just a horribly irresponsible adult? I'm trying to figure out, because you said sticky roots and then you described a horribly irresponsible adult. I'm not sure if I lost it in translation or...
It's probably a loss in translation.
Okay, so let's talk about Mumbai. Like, I would love to go. I've dreamt of coming. In honesty, if you knew my full body type, because this is the benefit of Zoom, is nobody knows what my true shape is. I could be a bodybuilder. Nobody knows what my true shape is. But the reason I want to come to Mumbai is simply for the food. Like, the comedy is second. I've never associated the two together. So set up outside of food. Teach me about Mumbai and comedy. How does comedy? Because all I can picture is the food. That's all I came for.
Wait, have you visited Mumbai before?
No, only on the Discovery Channel and Travel Network and all of those things. But I've never been.
Oh, it's, so Mumbai is kind of like it's the financial capital of India.
Yeah.
And so we make all the money and the rest of the country leeches off.
That's Johannesburg.
Figured, right? It's, Mumbai is one of those cities where it's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of spirit, because that's what you have to say in order to survive. It's a hugely migrant city. And so, like, there's more people in Bombay that don't belong to Bombay than people that belong to Bombay. And there's it's the home of the famous Bollywood industry. I don't know if you guys have heard about that.
Oh, we've heard. We've seen some of this and some of this, and we've seen one or two scenes where there's a tree and then the flirtation happens around the tree. We know the tree. We know the tree.
That's right.
We've seen the tree.
That's right. The tree is actually the godfather of Bollywood.
Yes, yes. Now, Bollywood is filled with the most ridiculous stunt scenes you've ever seen. Instead of a car flipping once, the car doesn't stop flipping. For the entire movie, the whole movie is just a sequence of the car flipping and exploding. I've seen the new stuff too. I prefer the tree.
You know what? Gravity has always been optional in Mumbai. Okay? It's always been optional in Mumbai. But, you know, Bombay is, and it's formerly known as Bombay, but now it's called Mumbai because we're trying to get away from our colonial past.
Okay.
You know something about colonial
One or
past
two
in
little
Johannesburg.
things. One or two little things about colonial pasts.
Like what? Like what, Jason?
Oh, like those motherfuckers came and stole our land and our woman and our currencies. And then when they'd taken everything they could, they left and pretended to gift us our own country back. Sorry, we're going to beep out the whole part. I'm fine. You did not trigger me at all. I'm calm. I'm fine. Sorry, continue.
You know what was delightful about being a part of the Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
That, like our wealth was theirs and their wealth was theirs.
Yep.
That's what Commonwealth meant.
It also meant that we had to say thank you for so like I heard such a great description the other day. It was like somebody comes and steals your car and then you're without a car for 6 months. And then after 6 months, they decide to bring your car back. They haven't serviced it. The tires are missing. The engine is broken. And then they stand there, and then there's that awkward moment of them waiting for you to say thank you for my car. There's that that awkward moment when somebody's waiting. There's that awkward moment where somebody's waiting, and they just say thank you for my car. They're not offering to reimburse you for your stress. They're not offering to reimburse you for damage caused to your vehicle. They're not telling you where the engine is. All they want from you is a thank you for giving you back your own car. That's, I think, the best description I've heard in a long time.
You know, that's so true. And dude, whenever I used to go to London, right? Like I've now realized the British are kind of sheepish.
Yeah.
Like about the whole thing when you bring it up, even as a joke. Like even if you're like, hey, so like,
Oof.
how's that going? How's colonialism going?
Oof.
And they'll all be like, it wasn't me. I personally, what are you talking
Me? You must have me confused. You must have me mistaken for the French. It definitely wasn't me. Definitely. I mean, we present the same.
What can I say? You all look the same. That's my response.
Can we be friends forever? You and I, can we be friends forever in life, please? Because we've done no interviewing. We have ranted about technology and colonialism. This is what life should be. I feel like this is my new favorite part. I have to ask you at least one comedy related question.
Yes.
And I need like, because I know you've been asked this question many ways, but I want you to consider who's asking you the question. So I'm a comedian from the dusty streets of Johannesburg, South Africa. I see lions roaming the streets, and I ride a zebra to work. So I know that you can relate. Please tell me that getting your own Netflix special is as big a deal emotionally as I think it is, or is it like a massive disappointment, and once you've got it, then you're like, okay, now what? Please tell me it's like, because in my mind, it's the biggest, most built-up, pressurized achievement of all time.
You know, that it's one of those things where you shit yourself continuously on stage for like a decade. And then suddenly someone else falls into it by mistake and finds you there. And they're like, why don't you do a Netflix special? And you're like, oh, yeah. And it is the big deal. Like, it is this huge deal to, like, my parents. And the problem is, I guess my parents didn't understand it too much.
Okay.
Like, I told my dad, I was like, oh my God, I'm doing Netflix.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, what channel is that on? And I was like, it's on the internet. And he's like, okay, are you doing porn now? And I was like, I don't know what to say.
Dad's plus internet equals porn. There's no other equation. Dad plus internet, porn.
What has my dad been watching? What has my dad been watching? And it is this huge deal, you know, it's this huge deal. It's really scary. And then once it goes out, it feels like you almost feel deflated because you realize that that's kind of your, like, you, especially your first one, it's like you've worked your entire life towards it. And then suddenly it's out. And also, dude, like letting go of your best materials and then coming back to the drawing board. And the worst is, then people have seen your best material and they come to watch you workshop shitty fucking material. And they're like, what were you doing on Netflix? Can you do that over here? And I'm like, what do I tell you? What do I tell you?
So it's like Netflix is for me the equivalent of a WhatsApp profile picture or like a profile picture on one of those dating apps where, you know, the lighting is perfect, the angle is great. I look thin, I look skinny, I look amazing. And then when you meet me in person, the first thing you want to say is you lied. That you're a liar. You lied. Because I mean, how many people have you met when you go, you actually, as you meet them, go back to their profile picture and just kind of be like, that's not you.
This, you know, and the problem, oh my God, Jason, I never look like any picture I have ever taken. So even when I show up on a date, the guy is like, she mentioned she was a comedian, but this is not funny. What's up with that? Yeah, you're right. It's exactly like that. Like a really good picture for a dating app. Yes. And then people are like,
that's
more chins than I saw in the fucking show. And I'm like, yes.
I paid for one chin. I don't know where the rest of these chins came from. I bought a ticket for one chin. Can somebody explain? That's me all the time. How much of you is there? They always like ask me like how much of you is there? You know what I mean? Because people often look at me as if cholesterol is contagious. You know what I mean? I must say, calm down. Just everybody relax and calm down. So like, you know, I've been trying to explain to non-comedians for forever that there's a magic in comedy that I don't think exists in any other art form, where I've been to festivals around the world, and so have you. And as soon as you meet a group of comedians and introduce yourself as a comedian, or even if they see it on your festival tag, there's a difference. There's an engagement. I feel like comedy allows us all to vibrate at a very similar kind of level. And I assume that it's because we all understand how difficult comedy is. A, do you agree with me? And if so, are my assumptions correct?
A, I agree with you. And B, I have my own reasons. Like, I think, you know, there's a very particular kind of person that does comedy. And I don't even think it's about the craft itself. Like, I think that it's just an outlet for this insecure, needy, like parents didn't give us attention at home. And then somebody one day laughed at a joke that we said, and we were like, oh my God, I want this every day.
I need to feel more of that. I need Do you understand that what the main thing the lockdown has done to me is helped me realize just how insecure I am. I need people to applaud me. People that have never met me, people that actually don't know who I am. I need people to applaud when I walk into a room, scream my name. And that's why I do the big introductions here. And then I saw it in you. As soon as I did the big introduction, you felt the praise. I saw you just started glowing. You started flicking your hair. What is wrong with us?
You know, I think it's a very comparatively healthy outlet. I'm just saying comparatively, compared to like serial killing or like like embezzling stuff. Or
these are all very close to comedy. All of these things that Aditi is mentioning are very close to comedy. Cousins,
the other
cousins
side of the
comedy.
coin. Yeah, and so I think it's a comparatively healthier one, where we sort of slowly destroy ourselves in front of people for money. Structure doesn't seem as bad. That's why I think. And I think my attitude towards comedians, I realized I don't want to be in any club that would have me. And so sometimes when I meet comedians, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't even want to bother you with my personality. Let's just leave the guard down and, bitch about something that we hate in common. That's how I approach the comedians.
I feel like weirdly, it doesn't matter what style of comedy you do. It doesn't matter where you're from. Deep down, that I think is the truest thing I've ever heard a comedian say. That is the cold, morbid, horrible truth. But I think that it's only fair to comedy that we remind people about this point. But when it goes well, there is nothing on God's green earth that will compare.
That's so true. And I realized that especially being in a room with people laughing is the ultimate sort of writing in the sky, because it happens in that one moment. You give energy, you sort of express a confusion, you express a thought, and in that moment everyone gets it at the same time, and the reaction is, I have goosebumps talking about it because it's so beautiful. And then the moment they leave the room and you leave the stage, it disappears, and only the ones who saw it. And it's such a flash of brilliance and glory. And I love that.
It's the writing in the sky. That is the perfect analogy. It exists, but only for a brief moment, but only for a brief few. But for those who it existed for, life can never be experienced the same. We are changing the world here. I don't even think you realize Mumbai and Johannesburg. I can feel a shift in global thought patterns. We have addressed topics from colonialism to what serial killing. The world problems are safe. I have to ask you a couple of serious questions before I go. I have.
Listen, they're going to find the vaccine for COVID after this interview. Done. I hope you know that.
Done. No, we have opened the world to a greater frequency of thought. I'm done. But I have to ask you a couple of serious questions. So I always feel like when I get to do these interviews, especially when we're not in person, I always feel like, what's the first thing I'd ask you as soon as the camera stopped rolling? And I feel like those are the questions that we miss out. So here goes my question. So what's the point?
That brief flash, that brief writing in the sky, that's the whole point. There's nothing to it. I realized that so much of who we are, like why we pass on our names to our children and why we erect massive statues, of people that we love and admire and respect, and why we write our names on things, and why we tell the stories of our parents and our families and our houses when we get up on stage. It's because we want someone to remember us, to think about us, and to be relevant to someone, even if it's for that 1 second. And I realized you die 2 times. One, when you actually die, and then the second time when someone who knew takes your name for the last time. And so I guess why is so that there's a higher possibility of someone taking my name, hopefully not for the last time.
Listen, we are friends now, whether you like it or not. Unfortunately, we are besties. You are going up in my Instagram bio. You made it. Congratulations. You're gonna be the line after my wife. It's gonna be my wife and then you. But because I think that's exactly it. I think that's exactly it. And I wish I was man enough to end it there. But I have to ask you one more question, because I feel like you have the answer. So if you did die the first time, people were still uttering your name, okay? And you had an opportunity to compose one tweet, and that tweet is what people would describe you as, what the experience you left in their minds was. What would you like that tweet to read?
I tried. Or open mic at 7:30, tickets in the link. Please show up. That's literally what my last tweet ever would be. Some fucking video of me going like, hey guys. So sad. So sad. It's true. It's true. It's a fact. I'm not going to pretend.
I think that's the best answer I've ever got to that question. You're the winner. You win the internet. You win Netflix. We at JICF, man, we await your arrival in anticipation. I want you to expect donkeys and palm leaves as you come off the airplane. We are going to pull out all of the stops to make sure that you are welcome. I can't wait to share the stage with you. I want to encourage everybody to follow you. So please just give us all of your social media handles. How can people stay in contact with this light that you project with such funniness into the world?
My social media handles are AWRYADITI on Twitter and ADDYMITZY on Instagram. I am incredibly disappointing compared to real life on both. On both. You'll be shocked. Like, is that the same person we saw in the interview? If you liked the interview. You'll just be like, yikes, what is up with this chick? She's having meltdowns every 30 minutes on Twitter. It's my thing.
You've made my day. Thank you. I want to wish you the best. You and the family. I've been keeping my eyes on the numbers, and I know that you guys are doing your best to stay home and stay safe and stay clean and all of those things they asked me specifically not to say. But I was very comfortable not saying them if you were in London. Very comfortable there. Very, very comfortable. But now that I know you're not in London, I just feel like I wouldn't forgive myself. I would never forgive myself. I've got to make sure they know. I've got to make sure they know. So man, just keep shining your light. Keep spreading all of this happiness. Keep smiling. Keep laughing. And just keep being amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Aditi Mittal. Ba, 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 ba.
Right back at you, Jason. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Got it.